Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Are you ready to speak with power? Are you ready to let the world hear your voice? Because make no mistake about it, your voice has the power to inspire, to transform, and to create a legacy that will live on long after you're gone. But here's the real question, do you believe it? I wasn't always a man who believed in the power of my voice. You see, growing up, I was labeled educable, mentally retarded. Those words made me feel small, made me doubt my worth. But there was a voice, there was a voice that spoke louder than my fears. A teacher told me someone else's opinion of you does not have to become your reality, and from that day forward, I decided to rewrite my story. The power of belief. Let me tell you something right now. If you want to speak with power, you've got to first believe that your words have value. Stop waiting for permission to be great. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's expectations. There is greatness within you. There is a message inside you that the world is waiting to hear. But you've got to own it. Conquering fear. I know some of you are thinking, Les, what if they don't listen? What if I fail? Let me tell you something. Fear will keep you silent, and silence will keep you stuck. Fear is a liar. It's that little voice that tells you to sit down when you were meant to stand up.
It's that doubt that whispers you're not good enough.
But listen, let me tell you something powerful. Before anyone else can believe in you, you have to believe in yourselves. Speaking with power doesn't start with the words you say. It starts with the belief behind them. The conviction in your voice comes from knowing deep down that what you have to say matters. Think about this. Every great leader, every inspiring speaker, and every individual who has ever made a difference started out the same way as someone with doubts, fears, and insecurities. But they didn't let that stop them. They chose to believe that their voice could change things, that their words could ignite a spark, and that their message could leave a mark. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, what do I have to say that's so important? But let me ask you this, who told you your words weren't important? Was it a teacher? A friend? A family member? Or maybe it's that voice in your own head, the one that says, why would anyone listen to me? Let me tell you the truth right now, that voice is lying to you. You are not here to be silent. You are here to contribute, to share, to lead, and to inspire. You see, the words you speak have power not just over others, but over yourself. Every time you speak with belief, you are affirming your own strength. You're not just saying words, you're shaping your reality. The way you see yourself determines how the world will see you. Speak with doubt, and the world will doubt you. Speak with conviction, and the world will lean in to hear more. When you believe in yourself, it shows. Your voice carries weight. Your message resonates. And even if not everyone agrees with you, they will respect the courage it takes to stand and speak. That kind of belief transforms not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. And when you start to see yourself as capable, worthy, and powerful, you become unstoppable. So I challenge you, stop holding back. Stop doubting. You don't need permission to speak. You don't need a perfect plan or the right circumstances. All you need is belief in yourself, in your voice, and in the power of your words to inspire, uplift, and create change. Because if you don't believe in you, why should anyone else? Let's be honest, fear is something we all face. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or what you've achieved. At some point, fear has whispered in your ear, you can't do this. Maybe it's told you, what if they laugh at you? What if you fail? That voice of doubt can be loud and it can be convincing. But let me tell you something, fear is not your enemy. Fear is a sign that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. When it comes to speaking, whether it's in front of a crowd, in a meeting, or even one-on-one, that fear can feel overwhelming. Your heart races, your hands tremble, and your mind starts to second-guess everything you were so sure about. But here's what I want you to understand. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a green light telling you to go forward. The presence of fear doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you're alive. It means you care. Too often we let fear keep us silent. We think if I just stay quiet, I won't mess up. But let me tell you something, silence is the real failure. Every time you hold back because of fear, you rob the world of your potential, your ideas, and your unique perspective. And let me be clear, there is no one else who can speak your truth like you can. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and speaking anyway. It's standing up and saying, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway because this matters. Do you know what happens when you speak despite your fear? You take away its power. Fear feeds on your silence. It grows when you shrink. But the moment you speak, you break its hold. Let me tell you this, the people who seem fearless, they're not. They just learned how to act in spite of their fear. They've learned that fear will always be there, but it doesn't get to make the decisions. They've chosen to let their purpose, not their fear, lead the way. So the next time fear tells you to stay quiet, I want you to ask yourself one question: what's more important, my fear or my message? Because I promise you, your message matters. Your voice matters.
And the world is waiting to hear what only you can say. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you.
Speak, not because you're fearless, but because you're brave enough to rise above it. When I was a young boy, growing up in a rough part of Miami, I faced a label that could have defined my entire life. In school, they called me educable, mentally retarded. I still remember the sting of those words, the way they seemed to shrink me down, to box me into a corner of what others thought I could be. Back then, I had the tools to challenge that label. I didn't know how to stand up and say, that's not who I am. I carried that label with me and it became the voice in my head. Every time I tried to push myself, it would whisper, why bother? You're not smart enough. You're not capable. I started to believe that lie, and my dreams, I had big dreams, began to feel impossible. I told myself, Les, just stay in your place. Don't aim too high. But then something happened that changed everything. One day I had a teacher who saw me struggling, who saw me hanging my head low and avoiding eye contact. And he said something I'll never forget: young man, don't you ever let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. At first I didn't know how to take those words. I had let that label define me for so long that I didn't even know who I was without it. But something about what he said stuck with me. It was like a spark, small at first, but enough to get me thinking. What if he's right? What if I've been living someone else's story, not my own? So I decided to try something new. I started small. I told myself, Les, just speak up in class. Raise your hand. It wasn't easy. My voice would shake and my words felt clumsy. But with every word I spoke, I began to realize something powerful: that label had no power over me unless I gave it power. As I kept going, something incredible began to happen. People started listening. They didn't see me as the kid with the label. They saw me as Les, a young man with something to say. And for the first time, I saw myself the same way. I learned that my voice had value not because it was perfect, not because I had all the answers, but because it was mine. It was authentic. It was real. And in owning my voice, I began to own my life. That experience taught me one of the most important lessons of my journey. No matter what labels the world tries to put on you, no matter how loud the voices of doubt may seem, you have the power to write your own story. And your voice, as the pen out there, is a force more powerful than any weapon, more influential than any material possession, and it is within all of us. It's the power of words. Words can uplift a person when they're at their lowest. Words can inspire action when everything seems impossible, and words can ignite change that lasts for generations. I think about it for a moment. How many of you have been inspired by something someone said? Maybe it was a mentor, a friend, or even a stranger whose words touched you in a way you'll never forget. I know I have. Words have the power to reach into the deepest parts of your soul and say, you can do this. You are capable. You matter. That is the power of language. Something as simple as a phrase can change the course of someone's life. But it's not just about the words themselves. It's about the intent behind them. When you speak with purpose, your words carry a weight. They don't just pass through the air, they resonate. They stay with people often longer than you realize. And when spoken with genuine belief, your words don't just have the potential to impact those who hear them, they can transform the way they see the world, and in turn transform the world itself. Take a moment to reflect on the great leaders throughout history, people who have used their voices to change the course of nations, to rally people together for a common cause, to lift others up when all seemed lost. Martin Luther King Jr.'s the first Have a Dream speech didn't just inspire millions in his time, it continues to inspire generations after him. Why? Because words have the power to transcend time. They echo long after they're spoken. But it's not only the words of the famous or the well-known that matter. The truth is, every single one of us has the ability to speak with purpose and make a difference. The words you speak can lift someone who's struggling. They can motivate a friend to take that leap of faith. They can be the turning point for someone on the verge of giving up. When you speak with conviction, when you speak from your heart, your words carry power beyond what you may ever see. And it doesn't stop there. Words can create movements, spark revolutions that lead to long-lasting change. The right words at the right time have the ability to alter someone's perspective, shift their mindset, and inspire them to take action. Every time you speak, you have an opportunity to make an impact. You have the chance to say something that will resonate with someone deeply, something that might give them the courage to step forward, to rise above their circumstances, or to find a path they never thought possible. Your voice is not just a sound, it is a tool for transformation. You have the ability to inspire action, to help others see their worth, to remind them of their potential. Every word you speak can plant a seed that over time grows into something magnificent. Your words can be the spark that lights someone else's fire. Your voice can help change the world, one conversation at a time. I want to challenge you right now, in this moment, to take full ownership of your voice. No more letting other people tell you what you can or can't say. No more holding back because you're worried about what others might think. No more letting the labels that society has placed on you, whether they're from family, friends, or the world at large, define who you are or what you're capable of. For far too long, we've allowed the opinions of others to shape our identity. We let the labels stick. You're too young, you're too old, you're not qualified enough, you don't have the right experience. These are the voices that keep you small. They make you doubt your own power. But listen to me, those voices don't get to dictate your life anymore. You are the author of your story. You get to decide how you define yourself, how you speak, and how you show up in this world. Taking ownership of your voice means stepping up and saying, I'm not going to let anyone put me in a box. It means challenging the narratives that others have written for you. If someone has told you that you can't do something, or that you're not enough, I want you to look them in the eye and say, you do not define me, because here's the truth, the only limitations that exist are the ones you place on yourself. If you choose to believe you can't speak powerfully, then you won't. But if you choose to believe you have something valuable to say, then nothing, no one can stop you. It's time to break free from the expectations and opinions that society has put on you. You don't need anyone's permission to speak with power. You don't need anyone's approval to share your message with the world. You've got a voice that matters, and you've got something to say that can change lives. It's time to stand up and claim that power. When you take ownership of your voice, you step into your full potential. No more shrinking, no more playing small. You are a force, and the world needs to hear what you have to offer. Your message is not only important, it's necessary.
The world is waiting for you to speak up, and you can't afford to stay silent any longer.
So I challenge you right here, right now, to stop letting fear, doubt, or the opinions of others hold you back. Take responsibility for your voice. Speak with conviction. Speak with purpose. And most importantly, speak as if the world depends on it, because it does. Your message is your gift, and it's time to share it with the world. Let me ask you something important. Do you know why you speak? Do you know the purpose behind your message? Because when you find your why, when you truly understand the reason you're speaking, that's when your words gain power. That's when your voice starts to carry weight, when it stops being just noise and starts becoming something that resonates deeply with the people who hear it. Too often we speak without truly understanding why we're speaking. We speak because it's expected of us, because we're supposed to say something, or because we've been told that this is what we should do. But I'm here to tell you that's not enough. That's not the kind of speech that changes lives. The speech that moves people, the speech that stirs hearts and opens minds, is the speech that comes from purpose. When you speak with purpose, your words come from a place of deep conviction. You're not just talking to fill space or make noise. You're talking because you believe in something, because you are driven by something that is bigger than yourself. Maybe it's a passion for helping others, a desire to inspire change, or a mission to leave the world better than you found it. Whatever it is, it's the fire inside you, the reason you get up in the morning, that will fuel your message and carry it to the hearts of your audience. I want you to think about someone who has truly inspired you, someone whose words have left an indelible mark on your life. I guarantee you they weren't speaking because they had to. They weren't speaking for fame or for approval. They were speaking because they had a clear and powerful reason to do so. They knew their purpose and they used it to propel themselves forward, no matter the obstacles, no matter the fears, no matter the setbacks. And because they spoke with purpose, their message reached you. It touched you. It made a difference. Now I ask you, what is your purpose? What is the reason behind your words? If you don't know it yet, I urge you to find it, because once you find your why, once you know the purpose behind your message, there will be nothing that can stop you. Your words will come with a fire and a passion that will ignite the hearts of everyone who hears you. When you speak from your purpose, you speak with confidence, with clarity, and with a conviction that people can feel. Don't just speak because you can. Speak because you must. Speak because you have something that only you can share with the world. When you find your purpose and speak from it, there is no limit to what you can achieve. And more importantly, there is no limit to the impact you can have on others. I want to leave you with a challenge today. Take the first step. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, just take that first step. You've been holding on to something, an idea, a message, a story, a truth that only you can share. You've been waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, the perfect time to speak. But let me tell you something important. The perfect time is now. Action is the key to progress. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for everything to align before they spoke. They didn't wait until they felt ready or until they had all the answers. No, they took the first step even when it was uncomfortable, even when it was uncertain, and that step led to more steps. And that's how progress is made, one step at a time. I'm asking you right here and right now to take that first step. Maybe it's speaking up in that meeting where your voice has been quiet for too long. Maybe it's sharing your story with someone who needs to hear it, someone who will be inspired by your experience. Maybe it's offering a word of encouragement to a friend, a family member, or a colleague who's been struggling. Whatever it is, take that first step. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the fear to go away. Don't wait for the stars to align. You've got everything you need within you, and all you have to do is take that first step.